Picture this: Britain in the 1970s, humming softly with the sound of clattering milk bottles on doorsteps, radios tuned to crackling BBC voices, and the gentle whistle of kettles steaming on kitchen hobs. Streets lined with Ford Cortinas and Morris Minors, wallpaper loud enough to make your eyes blink, and carpets so shaggy they almost swallowed your socks. It was a decade shaped by simplicity, imagination, and the sort of childhood freedom that seems almost unreal today. No smartphones, no internet, no constant supervision. Just pure, unfiltered growing up. A world stitched together with coal fires, packed lunches wrapped in greaseproof paper, and the warm glow of telly sets that buzzed to life slowly, as if waking from sleep. So let's rewind the clock and step into those days again. The days when life was slower, smaller, and somehow bigger all at once. Here are 10 unforgettable things about being a child in 1970s Britain, beginning with the feeling that defined the decade more than anything else. Number 1. Endless summer freedom. If you were a child in 70s Britain, you didn't stay indoors unless it was absolutely pouring down. The rule was simple: go outside, stay outside, and only return when the streetlights flickered into life or your mum shouted your name across the estate. You'd leave home after breakfast and instantly join a troop of neighborhood kids, forming plans on the spot: football at the park, hide and seek between the garages, climbing trees that probably weren't meant to be climbed. There was a delicious kind of independence in those days. You felt like the world belonged to you. No one needed to know where you were every second. The adults trusted the roads, trusted the neighbors, trusted the community. It wasn't reckless, it was normal. You learned to entertain yourself, to stretch your own imagination, to make adventures out of nothing. And the sun. It always seemed brighter, warmer, friendlier. Even now, when people look back, they swear the summers were longer. Number 2. Woolworths, the treasure chest of childhood. Woolworths, or Woolies, was the closest thing a child had to paradise. The moment you stepped through the doors, you were hit with the blend of fresh stationery, plastic toys, sweets, and whatever else they somehow managed to fit under one roof. For a child with pocket money burning a hole in their palm, Woolies was the ultimate test of self-control. The pick and mix alone could keep you standing for 10 whole minutes, staring, calculating, dreaming. You'd wander through aisles filled with glitter pens, Barbie dolls, Subbuteo sets, vinyl records spinning quietly on display players, and little glass cabinets holding the good toys you'd press your nose against but never touch. And that red Woolworths carrier bag, thin, crinkly, iconic, made you feel like you'd just returned from the grandest shopping trip on earth. Every child has a Woolies memory, and every adult misses it with the same soft ache. Number 3. School milk, assemblies, and the simple rituals. School life in 1970s. Britain had a rhythm that never really changes in your memory. You remember the squeak of plimsolls on the assembly hall floor, the faint smell of floor polish, the echo of a piano being tapped as everyone tried to sing hymns they barely knew. Teachers with stern faces and softer hearts. Blackboards covered in chalk dust. And of course, the crate of school milk waiting outside like a loyal friend or enemy, depending on the weather. Those little glass bottles with foil tops were such a symbol of the times. In winter, the milk was ice cold. In summer, it was, let's just say, room temperature. But you drank it anyway because everyone did, and it was part of the day. Rituals like this gave childhood a structure. They made you feel like you belonged to something shared, something communal. A generation raised on chalkboards, milk crates, and the occasional telling off for talking too much during maths. Number 4. Saturday morning TV, the weekly event. Today's kids can watch anything at any hour, but in the 1970s, TV was an occasion. A real, actual event. Saturday mornings were practically sacred. You'd wake up early, pad into the living room in your dressing gown, and switch on the big, boxy television that needed a moment to warm up before giving you a picture. Shows like Multicolored Swap Shop, The Clangers, Bagpuss, Mr. Ben, and Thunderbirds were the heartbeat of your Saturday. You'd sit cross-legged on the carpet, cereal bowl in hand, often too close to the screen because someone had told you it'll ruin your eyes, and you secretly didn't care. It was a cozy cocoon, the one moment in the week where life felt completely predictable and completely perfect. Number 5, playing out until dark. The street was a playground, the real playground. Forget organized clubs or scheduled playdates. Your friends lived within shouting distance, and you didn't need to call ahead or text them. You just knocked on a door and said, "Is he coming out?" You played curbsy, hopscotch, tag, hide and seek, British bulldog, and whatever else your imagination conjured up on the spot. Someone always had a ball. Someone always fell, scraped their knee, cried for 2 minutes, then carried on like nothing had happened. Teens rode by on choppers, little kids chased each other with no shoes on, and the sound of laughter drifted down terrace streets like music. You didn't check the time. The streetlights told you everything you needed to know. When they blinked on, golden against the falling dusk, it was time to head home, cheeks flushed, hair messy, heart happy. Number 6, Raleigh Choppers, Space Hoppers, and iconic toys. Toys in the 1970s weren't just objects. They were companions. The Raleigh Chopper was more than a bike, it was status, adventure, and a rush of wind on your face. That long seat, the raised handlebars, the gear lever that felt like a miniature engine. Cycling down a hill on one felt like flying. Falling off? Of course you fell off. But getting back on was part of the fun, part of growing up. Then there were the bright orange space hoppers, bouncing wildly across gardens and driveways. Board games like Operation, Frustration, or Monopoly became entire worlds of strategy and laughter. You collected stickers, top trumps, and figurines obsessively, not for resale, not for social media, but because it made you happy. Toys shaped your days. Toys defined your world. And every corner of your bedroom, every shelf, held a memory. Number 7, the taste of 1970s childhood. Food in 1970s Britain had a texture, a smell, and a sound that lives in memory. Fish fingers sizzled in the pan, Angel Delight wobbled on plates, and Arctic Roll appeared on the table with a flourish at special occasions. You learned to love custard, jelly, mashed potatoes from a packet, and the occasional savory treat from Woolies' snack counter. And then there were the sweets: Spangles, fruit salads, blackjacks, curly whirlies, and fizzy cola cubes. Every shop visit was a sensory adventure. Even a small bag of crisps felt like a luxury. Eating wasn't just nourishment, it was an event, a pleasure, a moment to savor with friends at school or at home. The taste of those treats is so vivid, you could almost feel it on your tongue now. Number 8, Sunday nights and the quiet before the week. Sunday evenings had their own rhythm, their own magic. After baths and pajamas, the house would smell of roast leftovers, washing up liquid, and the faint warmth of the coal fire. Parents murmured about the week ahead, voices soft and low. You'd curl up with a book or watch the fading light of the television as it played something gentle and familiar. There was a bittersweetness in that time. The weekend was ending. School loomed tomorrow, but right now, it was calm, warm, and safe. It was a time to reflect, to feel at home, to savor the last bit of freedom before the predictable Monday morning routine. It was mundane yet precious, and everyone knew it. Number 9, family gatherings and home magic. Living rooms were entire universes. Loud patterned wallpaper, lace curtains, a record player spinning ABBA or Elton John, and the smell of biscuits cooling on trays. Family gatherings were often chaotic, yet tender. Birthdays meant pass the parcel, musical chairs, jelly, and ice cream, and paper crowns that always slipped onto noses at odd angles. Adults laughed loudly, cousins teased one another, and grandparents whispered quietly from their armchairs. The magic was in proximity, in presence, in shared moments. Every corner held a memory. A scuff on the floor from a racing toy car, a tear wiped away by a patient parent, the clatter of cutlery, the fizz of a lemonade bottle. The house itself seemed alive with love and laughter. Number 10. The feeling of a safer, slower world. Ultimately, what lingers isn't the milk bottles, the choppers, or even the sweets. It's the feeling of being a child in 1970s Britain. Life moved slower, not out of necessity, but because there was space to notice things. Neighbors knew each other. Streets were alive but safe. Rain had a smell, pavements had texture, and fires crackled in chimneys like a heartbeat. There was joy in the ordinary, the morning drizzle, the smell of toast, the scratch of chalk on blackboards, the hum of a television warming up. Life was tactile, immediate, communal. Even the small indignities, the scraped knees, the lessons learned the hard way, the occasional grumpy teacher, felt part of something bigger. Childhood then was vivid, grounded, and unforgettable. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. And that's why memories of it shimmer decades later. Looking back, it's impossible not to smile. Childhood in 1970s, Britain was a tapestry of freedom, warmth, wonder, and simple pleasures. Even now, when you smell rain on concrete, taste a sherbet fountain, or hear a distant song from the era, you are transported. What are your memories of growing up back then? Did you ride a chopper, play outside until dark, or clutch a tiny red Woolworths bag with pride? Share them in the comments below. Let's rewind together. And if this trip down memory lane warmed your heart, like this video, subscribe to Britain Rewind and share it with someone who remembers those days too.